Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the brand new Transformers core class figure Bumblebee movie Ravage, and this is actually really breathtaking if I do say so myself. I was really surprised that Studio Series was doing a core class line with core class Shockwave, Ravage, and Exosuit Daniel Witwicky, but I was so surprised that they pulled this guy off, put him in the core class, and he is in fact compatible with the Studio Series Soundwave. So if you saw my review, my previous review, which was SS Soundwave, Bumblebee movie Soundwave, I said I was going to put Ravage in the next video, and this is the next video. So in this video we're going to take a look at Ravage, take a look at the articulation as usual and everything, take a look at the paint apps, and the most special thing is how we're going to transform Ravage, and we're going to insert him into Soundwave's chest and see how Soundwave now looks like. We're obviously going to do little comparisons of other Transformers and stuff. So without further ado, let's take a look at Ravage's packaging before we delve into the figure itself. So Ravage's packaging is quite different from any other Studio Series packaging that we have ever seen. Now, Ravage and Shockwave and Daniel Exosuit, those figures, the core class figures, in fact, have no Studio Series number. That means they're not going to be 86, they're not going to be 90 something, or any numbers. So they're gonna have they're not gonna have any numbers. In fact, they're just gonna have their logo of which alliance they are, which is Decepticons or Autobots. Now let's just pay attention on the packaging. Right here we have no window, which I hate that. I'm not a fan of that. Hasbro, please put a window. But here we have no window. Ravage was just plopped inside like something like that. He was just sitting down in there. He does in fact come with many accessories, but I'll jump base on those later. Right here, Bumblebee. We have the Decepticon logo, Studio Series Ravage, ages 8 and up, Hasbro Transformers. Right here, core class. We have a nice photo of Ravage, just his face right there. That looks interesting. I would have wondered what number they would have given him. Right here we can see a bit of the back. Here's the bio, but in fact on these core figures they don't have a bio. Right here we just have the figure of converting. We just see that he transforms in 11 steps from, I believe, a Jaguar mode or some sort of dog or something into a little casket. So in fact there's no bio. It doesn't say Soundwave launches Ravage to attack the Autobots. Nope. These core class figures are in a league of their own. They do not have no bio, and their instructions are incredibly small, if I do say so myself. Just showing you how small the instructions are. They are like about this big, compared to the other instructions like these. They are in fact smaller, and they feel lighter as well. So these core class figures are in fact different. And on this side of the packaging, we have a dark space and a mirrored version of Ravage, and I like how that looks like. And the top, I actually do like how this looks like. I am an absolute fan of how this looks like. I love how the top looks like, and I like how this in fact looks like as well. I'm just not a fan that there's an open window that some kids put their little cute grubby hands in there or anything. I'm just not a fan of that, but who cares at the moment. Now let's pay attention to the main star himself, being Ravage. And Ravage is in fact one of my most anticipated figures to be released in this Studio Series line. I was not expecting it. Like I said before, his core classes was something I was not expecting. So just to show you Ravage in a close-up look, right here we can see Ravage's face. We have yellow eyes right here. We have red paint, some silver highlights around the head region, a hint of bluish around there. I want to say blue, but in fact when you get it in person, it looks more like of a silver blue. Right here we have white and red, a tiny little Decepticon logo right here. Right here we see his front legs and the back legs. They look really nice. The tail is articulated, goes back and forth. I'll pay attention more on that later. The top looks really nice. He does come with 4 accessories. Two little blasters that go on the legs right here, which you can assort them in any way you want. And then this missile pod right here that does mount on the back, or you can mount it on the bottom however way you wish. And there is one final piece that did come with him, which is mostly meant for the Studio Series Soundwaves, but this it came with this figure for some reason. I'm not so sure why, but it does bring Soundwave's G1 accurate cannon to life. So this piece does in fact go underneath Ravage. I don't like putting it on Ravage, it just looks kind of weird, so I leave it on Soundwave. So this is how Ravage looks like without any of the accessories attached. We can see how much detailing is on the figure. We can see on the back there's a lot of sculpt work right here around the lower region near the tail. There is a lot of right here we can see little ports where we can attach some stuff. And then at the bottom of the figure we have some detailing right here, and I even like that they even articulated the jaw and articulated the head to go up and down. I really do like that, and how it is even sculpted on the inside. And I know on this camera it's kind of hard to see. I need to get a new camera, but you can if you get the figure itself, you can totally feel and know that this figure was sculpted to the bone, and this figure is absolutely really great. Now his size, he does scale really good with the Revenge of the Fallen Ravage, and we can see that he is in fact bigger, which I did expect when seeing Bumblebee for the first time. I was like, no, Ravage is bigger than his Revenge of the Fallen counterpart. So I'm really glad that they had it like this. So I really do like how it looks like. And his wave mate, that being the core class Shockwave, right here we can see that Ravage does in fact is half his size, so that looks really cool. Comparing to another larger figure, which you're probably not going to see the whole thing. Here's the Kingdom Optimus Prime. Here are his legs right there. We can see how large how large Optimus is compared to Ravage. And Soundwave, the baby movie Soundwave as well. So we can see that Ravage is in fact really small compared to all of these figures. Now that that is finished, now let's take a look at the transformation. So the transformation is incredibly simple, yet it's a little fiddly at times. But before I do that, I did want to show you the articulation. He does have a ball joint here at the shoulder right here, which could in fact not go outward. It could just go in front and back. Right here we have a hinge joint where the elbow would be, and a hinge joint where the paw would be. Right here we have another swivel joint right here, another hinge joint right here, another hinge joint right here, and one right here at the foot. So overall we can see the back leg is more articulated than the front leg, due to the fact if you have seen how cats and dogs look like, their legs do look like this, so that's why there is many articulated pinpoints right there. And for the tail, it is not articulated as well. It could just go up and down. Same thing with the head, as the mouth could open and close, which could create some dynamic poses with the legs, but not with the mouth itself. So the transformation is incredibly simple. The first thing you're going to have to do is get the head, close the mouth like so. You're going to fold it inside Ravage's body. After that, you're going to have to make sure this whole region does deattach. So look closely right here. This region will deattach like so and fit into this hollow area right there. After that, you're going to make sure this tailbone right here does in fact flip down, now that the tail is flipping down as well. After that, once you are done with that, you're going to get the little accessory if you haven't detached it already. The accessory that was on top of Ravage, this little missile pod, you're going to make sure it does in fact tap in right there. So it's just a matter of aligning it up. And once it is perfectly aligned up, it's now pegged in. Once you have that done, you're going to move onto the tail, fold it down, covering that missile pod right there. And after that, you're just gonna make sure that these legs are straightened out a bit so that you could transform them a bit easier. And then you're gonna make sure these front legs do in fact fold like so. You're gonna fold them out like that. Once those are complete, you're gonna make sure these ones do in fact fold in like so. And then there is this little tab on the foot. That little peg right there is gonna go into a little slot right here. So once that is connected, you're just gonna connect those pieces right there. And then after that, you're just gonna do the same thing to this side. You're gonna peg in that piece right there. And then once that is done, you're gonna make sure these front paws do fold over like so, covering. And then there is a slight problem I have with my mold, that the paw does keep falling out. So you're just gonna have to keep trying to fold in the paw like so, like that. And here we have Ravage fully transformed into what is to be a little casket for Soundwave. And granted, it is small, but yet it was a quite a fiddly transformation. It is actually quite fun. I do like how it feels like sometimes. And then for these pieces, you could just in fact peg them right here on the tail. You can peg them on the tail right here. And then if you peg these pieces in, it's also makes it a little simpler when putting it inside Soundwave. So I do recommend putting it in there, and it also makes sure you don't lose the pieces and stuff, and they won't get lost or anything. So that is Ravage's little transformation. I was thinking he's probably like this little boxy thing that probably shoots out something, or maybe a little computer or something. I was thinking that Hasbro found something to like not just being a little casket. I was thinking, what else can they find? So I think this is probably like a little computer, a little chip, or something Ravage has transformed himself into. So overall, a really nice figure. We can see some of the detailings from earlier. It looks really nice. I like how this looks like. Honestly, from this side, it looks a bit like a jetpack. So I'd be interested to see how this would be like. And if you're interested how this guy would look like in Rise of the Beast, I am interested as well. I wonder how this guy would look like in Rise of the Beast. So now how to insert him into Soundwave. It is real simple. Once you have Soundwave ready, I recommend making the figure straight. Or in this position, it looks really cool. You're gonna press on this button right here, and then it does in fact release right here. Now there is one thing worth noting. When putting this figure in, it is incredibly hard to put in at times. So what I recommend doing is disengage this back region right here, and then after that you're just gonna have to push the figure inward. You're just gonna have to push the figure like that inside Soundwave like that. And then I recommend leaving that on tab, because if you do notice right here, there is a transparent tab right here where my finger is pointing. And if you do have this guy sticking out, it is going to create unnecessary stress, and it's probably going to break the tab sooner or later. So also what I like to do to preserve the tab, I like to press the button, fold that piece in, and let go of the button, so that we have Soundwave right there. And there we have Ravage fully transformed into Soundwave. And oh boy, this is the icing on the cake for me. This is what I call masterpiece worthy. Besides from the Studio Series Hard Rod 78 Soundwave, this is probably one of the most masterpiece figures. And what even made this figure even better is that they included this little cannon, which did harken back to the G1 design of Soundwave and his missile cannon. This looks really cool. So overall, Ravage, if you get Ravage, you have to get Soundwave. If you get Soundwave, you have to get Ravage. These characters cannot live with one another, and this is probably an easy way for Hasbro to also get money. Selling these characters separately, this is probably their idea of getting more money off of people. But if I don't see why they couldn't have packed it in with Soundwave. Maybe the box was too small. I don't know. But overall, these figures look so cool. So some final thoughts for Ravage, for our Studio Series Ravage and our Studio Series Soundwave. These guys are absolutely great. They are amazing. I recommend them. They look great with one another. Their articulation is great. You can pose them in as many ways as you want. They look absolutely crazy. With our G1 figures, our Bayverse live action figures, or even our BB movie figures like Ratchet, they all look so cool. So some final thoughts. I recommend this guy. This is probably a 9 out of 10 figure. I never got that high with a figure, so I really think that is really cool. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, and until my next review, which is probably an upgrade kit, I will see you then. Thanks for watching.